Hi, Andre from SOC Prime here with a review of the latest Use Case Cloud 2.5. So thank you once again everybody for using the use case library. It's now renamed Use Case Cloud, and I appreciate the feedback from over 1,000 organizations which are using the portal as of today. So as you can see today, Use Case Cloud is not only about use cases anymore. It's about actionable intelligence and about coordinating the defense capabilities and detection capabilities of your SIEM and security operation centers. Now, the classic interface still has open analytics about the use cases. You can see what is being downloaded by which industry. You can review the content over here for 3 SIEMs already today, like ArcSight, QRadar, and Splunk. We're also working on adding Elastic support in nearby future. The very important part I want to highlight is addition of MITRE attacker tactics, techniques, and common knowledge, or MITRE Attack for short. We've been working closely with MITRE, and it's one of the most comprehensive methodologies to describe the attacks, and is very valuable to building SIEM content and seeing how it can be applied in practice. So as you know, we are looking into MITRE API and looking at more than 163 tools, 41 actors, and 217 techniques. So let's zoom down on some of them and see how it can be used in practice. So we have brute force, most common technique. Yes, so let's click on it, and we will see the data from MITRE and examples who is using brute force. I will see the most common group on the news this year would be Lazarus group. I will click on Lazarus group and see all the techniques on the right which are used by the group. I can expand on them and see which ones I can find in my organization, or maybe learn something about them. Now, if you want to go directly to the SIEM use cases, I can just click here and see the recommendation of the use cases which can address the brute force technique by different SIEM platforms. And I can not only download them, but also see them linked to the incidents. So let's click on the incidents on the APT framework and see what we find there. Now, inside there, we have a statistics which is being gathered from the public sources on any cyber attacks. And we gather it since a couple years now, and you can see there are a lot of kind of threats inside, different actor types, all kinds of geographies and external sources. So I can see that malware is the most common. I would filter it out. I see the next most common is targeted attack, followed by ransomware, and followed by the unknown source, which is pretty common. I would then see, okay, which use cases should I use to find the malware incident? So let's look at the first one. It says the US government site was hosting ransomware, and it was using the JavaScript downloader, and that got people to actually be a victim of cyber ransomware. So I can click on the right and find the use case which would help me find this threat. So both APT framework and ransomware hunter would be helping me in this task. Let's start with ransomware hunter, because that's the case that is specifically targeted to discover such a threat. I'm zooming down the advanced version. I can in one click compare it to the basic version, which is provided by us in the past. You can see the advanced version has much more improvements, more rules, more filters, correlation, capabilities, dashboard strengths, etc. Then, as usual, there's technical information. We move down to the right about use case. You can see the screenshots of how it will look inside the platform, documentation, support, and reviews the use case structure in an interactive way. Structure is good to quickly understand how sophisticated content is. Everything from MITRE to the vendor supported is actually included in here. You can also look at in the tree diagram, which is good for exploring the dependencies and the links, and the rows diagram, which is more readable on what exactly is contained inside the use case. Now, further down, we also have the description and MITRE attributions. So MITRE is now everywhere in SOC Prime platform, and you can also see direct linkage with the tactics, techniques. Again, all the information is here automatically enriched by our lab and by MITRE public knowledge. I would also highlight that requirements for log sources are very important. So to find out will this use case generate maximum value in my environment, I can read here about the available log source technologies. And I can also right away go to the health check, which is as of today supported for ArcSight SIEM. So let's go there. Health check is available with any kind of subscription for use case library. And inside health check, I can already see some preloaded information about the connector in T-Local, which is a Windows connector. I can see it's a pretty old one. I can also find if there are any errors on it or warnings. And I can see, okay, general category, let's leave out for now. And look what is the second best. Then the parsing, we have a lot of parsing errors in this guy, and DNS errors, meaning that our detection controls will not be operating fully and most effectively and efficiently. So let's find out what should I remediate. I see here DNS error, cannot find information for host, and this happened more than 4,000 times. I can quickly look up on the remediation. I can also sort by priority and find the most critical issues and analyze the metrics related to the health data. So hopefully the scene works fine by using health check. Last but not the least, we added the public roadmap. So now you can actually follow SOC Prime Use Case Cloud and see which use cases are coming out next and vote for them, which is very important to help us to prioritize the R&D. That being said, this concludes the demo of Use Case Cloud 2.5. Stay safe.